Can I call you Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom.
The story of computer development from the beginning until now has gone through at least 5 generations, which have made computer technology increasingly advanced. The rapid development of information and communication technology, or ICT, today cannot be separated from the discovery of computers, which have made major change in human civilization. Many things that used to be done manually were a bit troublesome, but are now easily done using a computer. In fact, there are various jobs that can be done automatically using this tool. Computing hardware has been an essential component of the process of calculation and data storage since it became useful for numerical values to be processed and shared. The earliest computing hardware was probably some form of dialectic. Later recording devices include the Venetian clay shapes, which represented quantities or counts of items, probably livestock or grains, in containers. They seem to have been used by the American accountants and government officials of the time.
The meaning of computer. A computer is a programmable device that stores, retrieves, and processes data. The term computer was originally given to humans or human computer who performs numerical calculation using mechanical calculator such as the abacus and slide rule. The term was later given to mechanical devices as they began replacing humans' computer. Today, computers are electronic devices that accept data or input, process data, produce output, and store or storage the result or IPOS.
Computers development from generation to generation. A. The mechanical era, or 1940s. Looking back in history, the origin of computers are not far from calculating tools. The reason is, computer comes from the Latin computare and the English to compute, which both mean to calculate. Therefore, the discovery of calculating tools is considered a milestone in history of computers. The calculating tool that became the forerunner of computers was called the abacus. According to the Ministry of Education and Culture's Learning Resources page, the abacus is an ancient calculating tool used by the ancient Romans and ancient Greeks. Abacus is used in everyday calculations like today's calculators. With an abacus, people at that time could calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square multiplication, and square roots. Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician and scientist, invented an automatic calculator in 1642. He used a set of connected gears to use the tool. Over time, in 1642, the numerical wheel calculator 1 was invented by Blaise Pascal. This calculator is rectangular in shape and has 8 serrated rotating wheels for adding numbers up to 8 digits. Still in the same year, in 1642, a German mathematician and philosopher, Gottfried Wilhelm von Leibniz, perfected the numerical wheel calculator 1 by creating a machine that could multiply. B. First generation, from 1940 to 1959. 1. World War II period. When World War II took place, the countries involved tried to develop computers to exploit the potential of computers. In 1941, A German engineer, Konrad Zuse, created a computer called the Z3, which was used to design airplanes and guided missiles. 2 years later, in 1943, England succeeded in complete the creation of a secret code-breaking computer called the Colossus computer. The Colossus computer functioned to break secret codes that were used by Nazi Germany at the time. Unfortunately, the existence of the Colossus computer did not really influence the development of computers, because Colossus was not a multi-purpose computer, but was only designed to break secret codes. 2. The first computer, or ENIAC. The first computers began to appear in 1646, which are referred to as the first generation of computers. The first generation of computers was created using vacuum tubes as the basic component. This vacuum tube is known to be efficient in several aspects, because it gets hot easily when it's used. This is caused by vacuum tubes, which require very large electrical power to operate. One example of the first generation computer, or also called the first computer in the world, is the Electronic Numerical Integrated and Computer, or ENIAC. ENIAC was created by 2 computer technology experts, namely J. Presper Eckert and John Moseley, at the University of Pennsylvania. They created ENIAC using as many as 1,800 vacuum tubes measuring 800 feet and weighing around 30 tons. In fact, plans for making the first generation computer had been designed since 1942. However, work on the first generation computer only started in 1943 and was completed in 1946. The characteristics of the first generation computers were: it had large hardware. The interior design of the operating system is created specifically. Programs can only be created using machine language. It requires large electrical power, small storage capacity, and using a vacuum tube. C. Second generation, from 1959 to 1965. The basic component for second generation computers was transistor technology. The second generation of computers began to be created in 1959. Transistors were considered much more efficient when compared to the vacuum tubes in the first generation of computers. The size of the transistor is smaller, and the electrical power used is also smaller to operate it. Apart from that, the manufacturing costs that must be incurred are also much more affordable. The programming language used was replaced with assembly language and symbolic language. Assembly language is high-speed, low-level programming language. The first machine to use transistors was a supercomputer. Supercomputers were then also created by IBM under the names Sperry-Rand and Stretch. International Business Machines Corporation, or IBM, is an American company that produces and sells hardware and software for computers. The characteristics of second-generation computers are: 1. The basic component used transistor. 2. The power and size used are smaller. 3. Able to process in real time and real sharing. And 4. Faster performance. G. Third generation, from 1960s to 1970. The third generation of computers began in 1965. At that time, computers were made using basic integrated circuit, or ICs, components. Even though ICs are used, transistors are still used, but in a smaller size. Several small transistors will be included in the IC, along with resistors and capacitors. This third generation computer is the first computer that can interact with a keyboard and a monitor. Examples of third generation computers are the Apple II, IBM PC, and NECPC. The characteristics of third-generation computers are as follows. 1. More efficient electricity. 2. Software is more developed. 3. Prices are becoming more affordable. 4. Larger storage capacity. 5. Able to communicate with other computers. And 6. Using external storage such as magnetic disks. Fourth generation. In 1970s, fourth-generation computers are also called microprocessor computer. At this time, the ICs developed for computers were large-scale integration or LSI. Very large-scale integration of FLSI and ultra-large-scale integration or ULSI. Computers in the fourth generation use the basic components of microprocessor or microprocessor chips, which contains thousands of transistors and several types of interconnected circuit elements. At the time, microprocessors had been manufactured and then programmed to meet all needs, including household needs such as microwaves, oven, television, and electronic cars. The software that was very popular at the time was word processing and spreadsheet programs. An example of a fourth-generation computer, namely a laptop. The characteristics of fourth-generation computers are 1. Using LSI, 2. Using a microprocessor, 3. Marketed in a professional sector, and 4. New computers appeared that were easier to carry, such as laptops.
Fifth generation or no. Fifth generation computers have experienced much more rapid technological development. Fifth generation computers use ULTI technology microprocessor. One of the characteristics of fifth generation computer is artificial intelligence or AI. AI is created as a system ability to interpret external data correctly. Generally, systems like this are considered the same as computer. The intelligence that is created is put into a computer machine so that it can do work like humans. The characteristic of the fifth generation computer, namely 1. The basic component use ULTI. 2. Developing AI. 3. Began to develop computers that could replace chips.